Click on record.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Oasis Montage Love Connection. And I'm your show host, Carolyn Louise Herring Jones. I have an amazing show, and I'm excited about the show because I believe it is going to bring light to a lot of darkness in a lot of people's lives. My guest is amazing. I'm honored to have this guest today. But before you know what I do, before I do any show, I open up with a throne of grace. Most gracious Heavenly Father, Father God, I thank you for allowing me to make it here safely on the highways and byways. Father God, I thank you, God, for the guest that I'm about to introduce, God, and let him enlighten people's minds, bodies, and souls with wisdom, knowledge, and power that you have given him, oh God, to give to others, God. You're an awesome God. You're a great God. And Father God, we ask you to dispatch your angels around those that are sick and shut in. Touch them from the top of their head to the soles of their feet, God. Your mighty healing is important, God, and your mighty word is important. Let the words of my mouth be acceptable in your sight, Father God, because you are my strength, my redeemer. I love you. I praise you. Amen.
Amen.
So I want to give announcements first. You all know that I am a national playwright, and I'm excited to finally be going on tour to share my message of life after abuse to a multitude of people is super important to me. And my tour has been scheduled. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm excited. Okay, so I'm really excited because my play, Women Shop Talk by Roman Wake, has been out since 2007. I have taken this play from Colorado to Kansas City to Topeka to North Carolina, South Carolina, Tampa, Orlando, Fayetteville, Atlanta, and we are now on tour. I'm so super excited. You all know that I do this play to let people know, women know, families know that there's life after abuse. As a survivor of domestic violence, and last month was Domestic Violence Awareness Month, I share with you how important Domestic Violence Awareness Month is to me. Not just October, but every day, it's important that we understand that God created the temple to edify and to glorify Him, not to let anybody tear it down. So, my play that's on tour, I'm super, super excited. The first stop is Baltimore, Maryland at the Lyric. It is going to be January the 29th. Two shows, 3:30 and 7:30 at the Baltimore Lyric. You want your tickets? Go on the website, www.womenshoptalk.com. Women, you know how to spell that. WOMEN, Shoptalk, SHOPTALK.com. When you go to the website, it will list all the tours, sites, and dates and the times, and you can get your tickets. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so I'm a little over the top. But anyways, that's the first stop. The second stop is going to be show on February the 18th is a Friday. It's in Lakeland, Florida at the Polk Theater. Beautiful theater. Oh my gosh, it looks like it's like Broadway. It's like the Fox. It's just one of those old historical theaters. It's actually beautiful. Excited about going to the Polk Theater on February the 18th. And the tickets, of course, is on www.womenshoptalk.com. Um, I want to mention the fact that we are booking in DC, Virginia, Philly, and coming to Atlanta. Yeah, 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 at the Fox Theater. I'm so excited. My promoters are amazing. Shout out to Mr. Phil Murray and Mr. Kevin Custis. My cast is amazing. And guess who our special guests are? Ooh, we. Hmm. The Women's Shop Talk stage play is starring Jason Nelson. Wow. The gospel artist that's at the top of the chart with his hit song Chosen is in Shop Talk. Can you believe it? I don't believe it either. Can't believe it. And guess who's coming to be our guest? We're claiming a victory on this. It's not for sure, but I'm claiming this. For the Atlanta, starring in Atlanta. Oh, I ain't gonna tell you. I ain't gonna tell you. Oh my gosh. He's so dreamy. Okay, no, I ain't gonna tell you. Anyways, so I'll tell you next time. But yeah, I'm super excited about Shop Talk. Super excited about what God's doing and that we are bringing awareness to domestic violence and to sex trafficking. You all know I added sex trafficking to Women's Shop Talk because of my niece who was trafficked by her mother, and it brought a lot of light to me to understand what sex trafficking was. And so, all of my cast, we are all certified sex trafficking abolitionists now, and we know how to fight it. We know how to bring awareness to it, and we know how to stop the abuse when it ever comes against us. And so, when I put on this production, if there's anybody that needs help in the community, we're able to give them the things that they need to bring awareness and the tools that they need for survival, and to get themselves back up and start all over again. There is life after abuse, and that's super important with the story that I tell in my stage play. Um, I have another stage play. Woo, woo, woo. It's the holiday. Na, 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 na. Santa Claus is coming to the hood. For real. My play is called The Gift of Giving. The play is on Saturday, December the 18th at New Testament Gospel Worldwide Ministries in Rex, Georgia, 6755 Fielder Road. Um, it's called The Gift of Giving because we don't understand that God blesses us with a lot of gifts. It's not necessarily monetary all the time. We have gifts that we're blessed with. Some of us are writers, singers, actresses, directors, musicians, doctors, lawyers. We all have gifts. We all have missions. And what I did this play, I did it to let people know you don't have to rob, steal, and kill for monetary gifts because you have gifts that God has blessed you with. So the gift of giving is it's a really good family stage play for Christmas. It's about a woman and a husband. They have 5 children, and mom's mad with God because her daughter died on Christmas Day. And she died because she was robbing a liquor store for monetary reasons. And mom doesn't go to church, but dad does. He believes a family that prays together stays together. So he takes his children to church. Mom's angry because he gives his hard earned money to the pastor that drives a Mercedes and they ride the subway. They eat beans and he eats steak. There's one child that thinks that mama slept with the milkman. Everybody has afro. So this is a 1970s play, afro scene um, in the hood because they're living in the projects. And everybody's got an afro, darker than her. She's got long straight hair. She's lighter and she knows she's different. And she says, Mama slept with the milkman. There is a milkman. He comes by, he brings a bag of beans, a gallon of milk, and $1 for that one child. Did mama sleep with a milkman? You need to get your tickets to find out what happened in the gift of giving. Tickets are on sale on Eventbrite. Free toys. I'm giving out, I probably ordered 300 toys. I give out toys to economically challenged families. And if you are a family that need to have toys for your children, you need to contact me. I'll put your child's name on the list. Give me your child's sex and age. I'll make sure your child gets a toy for Christmas. All right. Do I have enough announcements? No, I did not. You know why? Because sometimes we forget to give honor where honor is due. We have a reason to celebrate Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a time for feasting and a time for family love and gathering, and to show God and tell God how thankful and grateful we are that He has blessed us abundantly for so many gifts and so many things He's done for us. Waking up every morning is a blessing. It really is. I'm a testimony to that. God's been so great to me, and I don't take that for granted. So every day that I wake up, I say thank you because I could have been gone a long time ago. Um, Having a terminal illness is really challenging every single day. But you know what? God's good, and He has not forsaken me. So I don't take that for granted, and I acknowledge Him every day because at any day I can be gone. but he's left me alive long enough to share my testimony and to let you know that I love him and I love you. I have an amazing guest, and when I come back, I'm going to introduce him. But right now, I'm going to give you his little bio on this amazing guest that I have today. His name is Dr. Leslie Ray Matthews. Dr. Leslie Ray Matthews. Um, he has a lot of phenomenal gifts. He's got a lot of phenomenal things that he's accomplished. But for the most part of what he's here for today is to inspire us, to give us wisdom, educate us about how to stay safe during the COVID pandemic epidemic that we're going through. His amazing education and knowledge is valuable. I'm going to tell you a little about Dr. Leslie. Dr. Leslie, he says that the discussion around proper protection from the COVID-19, regardless of the vaccination status, is on the rise. As we enter the holidays, many are wondering how to safely prepare their families. Dr. Leslie Ray Matthews, a third renowned vitamin D3 expert, highly suggests that every person supplement their diets with a high dose of vitamin D3 to increase their immune system. This is to decrease the chances of you contracting and potentially getting this deadly virus. It is to prevent your family and your friends and your members to be safe from getting this virus. Dr. Matthews, he shared his perspective with Black Enterprise. And when I read the link on Black Enterprise, this man is honorable. This man has done an amazing amount of work. His plethora of accomplishments, they're phenomenal. He's won many, many awards, and his teachings at Morehouse is phenomenal. He's a surgeon, and he's accomplished a lot of things. But we're going to take a little 5-minute break, and when we come back, I'm going to introduce to you Dr. Leslie Matthews. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Are you in default with your mortgage, facing foreclosure, or want to get your payments reduced so you can actually afford them? If so, my Next Gen 2.0 Loan Modification Masterclass is just for you. Many homeowners are dealing with reduced income, job loss, sickness, or death of loved ones due to financial hardship or COVID-19. This powerful masterclass includes everything you need to get your loan modification approved quickly. No need for costly mistakes, being misled by your lender, or trying to figure out their complicated paperwork again. In the event your loan modification is denied, you will learn other options to protect your equity and put cash in your pockets. If you're experiencing loss of income, facing a divorce, probate, or have been denied in the past, my Next Gen 2.0 Loan Modification Masterclass is specifically designed for you. The FHFA recently terminated the foreclosure moratorium. Your lender is free to foreclose on your home. There are always options. Doing nothing isn't one of them. So what are you waiting for? To stop your foreclosure instantly and finally get your mortgage payments under control, it's as simple as clicking the button below to be well on your way to restoring your peace of mind.
Where's your emergency? Everyone's on their way. What happened? Your friend's not breathing. She's dead? Yes, please get my mom and dad. Oh my God.
Matthews, doc. Welcome to the Oasis Montage Love Connection. Dr. Matthews, you're awesome. Welcome to the show. Give our audience a little bit about what you got going on.
Well, my name is Leslie Ray Matthews. I'm a retired trauma critical care surgeon. I retired December 31st, 2019. I graduated from University of Mississippi with cum laude with a degree in chemistry. I graduated from the University Medical Center in Jackson, Mississippi Medical School. I did my residency at Morehouse School of Medicine and General Surgery. Did my surgical critical care fellowship at Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. Then I came back to Morehouse at Grady Memorial Hospital and worked there for a number of years prior to retirement.
Wow, that's a lot. What led you into medicine?
I knew I was going to be a doctor from the time I was 4 years old. So I always knew what I was going to do. I knew I was going to be a surgeon at 4 years old. And I told my mom and my family medicine physician I was going to be a surgeon.
Are you the only family member in medicine?
No, I have a nephew that's a chiropractor, two nieces that are nurses, a cousin that's a family medicine doctor, a cousin that's a cardiologist. And so we have quite a few medical people in our family.
Wow, that's pretty
Both my grandmoms were midwives also.
Really?
Yes.
All right, that's pretty cool. So you grew up in Mississippi?
Yes, I did. Indianola, Mississippi, B.B. King's hometown.
What? Did you ever meet him?
Not only did I meet him, actually, I had a gospel group with my dad and my uncle called the St. John Gospel Singers. So he actually got a start in music on my grandparents' front porches when they were teenagers. They practiced there. So they never published the album. So he wanted these guys to go on tour with him and become professionals, but they decided to stay in Mississippi. And most of them became ministers, and he became B.B. King. So yes, I knew him personally. And
Wow.
he's actually buried in our hometown, and they had his funeral in my home church.
Oh, wow. That's pretty awesome. Great, great history. I love all of your credentials and things that you've accomplished in your lifetime. Now you're retired in 2019.
Yes, yes. Actually, I worked 32 years in medicine, and I went 32 years working 80 to 100 hours a week, and so getting 2 to 3 hours of sleep a night. So I just wanted to retire and do other things and focus on my vitamin D
Yeah.
research and educating the world on vitamin D, the benefits of it.
So you have been focused on the vitamin D3 since this COVID epidemic has happened. Is that what's going on?
No, actually, I started doing vitamin D research back in 2004. But vitamin D is not a vitamin, it's a hormone. And so it controls 3,000 out of 30,000 genes in your body, or 10% of your DNA. So actually, it's the most powerful substance in your body. So anything that controls 10% of your DNA. So imagine if you learn how to use or manipulate this, you can do a lot of things with it. So I can probably do more things with vitamin D than George Washington Carver did with the peanut.
Wow. Now, I understand you're mentioning that this vitamin D3,
Mhm.
taking it daily, it boosts your immune system and it helps to fight COVID. Explain that a little bit.
Well, it's a hormone, it's not a vitamin. So it's an anti-stress hormone. So anytime your body is stressed, you need more vitamin D, whether it's pregnancy, whether it's a traumatic brain injury, whether you've been shot, heart attack, coronavirus, pneumonia, broken pelvis, or whatever. So any stressful situation, your body actually needs more vitamin D because it's using this hormone to protect itself. So one of the genes that it controls out of these 3,000 genes is your immune response system, or how well your body responds to any type of infections, whether it's bacterial, viral, fungal, parasitic, or either cancer surveillance. And another thing that vitamin D or hormone D does is it decreases inflammation. So it's the inflammation from the coronavirus that actually causes all the organ damage. So if you can increase your immune response and decrease the inflammatory response, you can do a lot of different things with hormone D or vitamin D.
So, and I understand what you're saying because it's like all the fluid that's built up, and that's how people are losing, I guess, the digestion and being able to breathe. And there's so much fluid that's overcompassing them, and that's causing them to lose consciousness and being able to function. So
This the inflammation in your body that
information, the
destroys
fluid,
the organs.
yeah, the buildup of it, where people are not able to breathe, I guess. I mean, I can't imagine someone that's like smothering me and I can't breathe.
Mhm.
That kind of what
Yeah.
they're going through.
You know, or asthmatic, or being an asthmatic and can't breathe or catch your breath.
Yeah, that's pretty hot. That's like being suffocated, and I can't even imagine. And then, what do you think about these different injections that they have that are out, the Moderna and the Pfizer and all the dosages that they're giving to people? Is that a cure? And is it working?
Well, in medicine, we do not like to use the word cure. We use treatment because treatment is a better word than cure. So vaccines work basically by stimulating your immune system, and then it has memory. So as a surgeon, I had to take all the vaccines. The hepatitis vaccines, had to take the flu vaccine every year. So I'm not against vaccines. Vaccines actually work. But in order to have a strong immune system, just like in order to have a strong body, you have to feed it the right amount of nutrients. So vitamin D or hormone D is vital to having a strong immune system. So actually, the vaccines and the vitamin D, they can work in conjunction or work well together. So you actually need vitamin D for your immune system to be at optimal health. So your immune system don't work optimally if you're vitamin D deficient.
Right, right. So I have multiple sclerosis, and
Hmm.
I'm always low on my vitamin D.
Hmm.
And so the doctor told me to take vitamin D 3,000 something, whatever that is. I don't know what.
International units, yeah, 3,000 international units.
I take that like every day. And
Hmm.
then sometimes if I'm super low, they'll make me go and I'll get it infused, I guess.
The 50,000 IUs or international, that's a prescription strength. You
Yeah.
have different strengths of vitamin D. You have the 50,000 IUs, which is a doctor prescription strength, or prescription has to be written for that. Then over the counter, it can vary between 1,000 or 400 international units all the way up to 10,000 international units that you can buy over the counter.
So what do you recommend that people take daily?
Well, it's different things for different people because there are about 30 or 40 different things that affect your vitamin D level. Dark skinned people or people of color, we have more melanin or pigments in our skin. So melanin serves as a natural sunscreen. So the melanin in our pigment, in our skin blocks about 98% of vitamin D production. So a dark skinned person or person of color would have to stand in the sun 3 to 10 times longer than a lighter skinned person to produce the same amount of vitamin D.
Wow.
Obese people store vitamin D in their fat cells, so they need more vitamin D than a smaller person. An elderly person, skin doesn't absorb as much sunlight, and so they can produce only 25% of vitamin D. In order to make vitamin D, you need a healthy liver, you need a healthy kidney. So if you have kidney disease, hepatitis, or any type of liver diseases, you're not going to produce as much vitamin D. Certain medications affect vitamin D levels, like your seizure medications, your HIV medications, and steroids. So there are different things. In pregnancy, when a lady's pregnant, she's feeding two people, the baby and herself, so she needs more vitamin D.
Yeah.
Immunocompromised people, immune system don't work well, so they need a little bit more vitamin D. People with malabsorption syndromes or any type problems, or so there are about 40 different things. And more northern climate you live in, you need more vitamin D because you're not getting as much sun. And so you can't make any vitamin D in the wintertime in the United States in the northern hemisphere because the sun is at a 45-degree angle instead of a 90-degree angle. So we're just like plants. Plants you can only grow crops during a certain time of the year. You can only make vitamin D from late March to early October. So
Right.
from October until March, you can make zero vitamin D even if you stand outside all day.
Wow. Wow. That's a whole lot. I don't know that I can handle all that, but I will understand that it is important that I take the supplements because I am deficient in my vitamin.
Yes, yes.
Something was interesting that happened to me, and maybe you can explain how it didn't affect me. So we went to the Virgin Islands in May.
Hmm.
When you go into the Virgin Islands, you have to sign this COVID stuff or whatever, and then you have to give them a card. If you don't have a card, they make you go test. Well, I had taken the vaccination like maybe 3 weeks before going. I was due for the second one. I hadn't taken it. So my husband said, "You ain't going nowhere if you don't take that vaccination." Okay, I'm gonna take it. So, but when we got to the Virgin Islands and I took the test, I tested positive for COVID. There was
Hmm.
nothing wrong with me. I didn't have any symptoms. I had no cough. I had no runny nose, no loss of taste. I had no fever. Nothing was wrong with me. But I
Hmm.
tested positive.
Hmm.
They said they had never ran across anybody like that before. And they thought, well, okay, maybe the testing's wrong, so they did it again. I still tested positive. So they made me quarantine, and then they took me to the hospital and they gave me a booster. And they said that we don't get COVID people here. They only have like, I think their percentage is like a 2% of COVID in Virgin Islands. And
Hmm.
so they treated me and they gave me a booster. I said, "What's this for?" They said, "This is what we treat, a booster. It's going to help your immune and help you get better if you got it." And I said, "Okay." I said, "But I don't have COVID. I mean, I don't have any symptoms. There's nothing wrong with me." So while I was in quarantine, which was really cool of them, the natives in the Virgin Islands, they gave me some broom tea. I don't know if you heard of it before, but they gave me some broom tea. And they said, "You drink all this broom tea. We boiled it for you. You drink it every day hot." I said, Okay." They said, "You'll be healed." Okay. So, I mean, I did in obedience. But I just thought it was interesting that maybe you can help bring some light to why I didn't have any symptoms. I've never been sick. And then what's in this broom tea?
First of all, you can contract coronavirus and test positive and be totally asymptomatic, have zero symptoms. And so some people only know they had it because they tested positive, and so they've been exposed to it, had it. So it can vary from no symptoms at all to very symptomatic to very ill to severe form of coronavirus. So there's a whole different spectrum of symptoms that you can or cannot have. You can be from asymptomatic to really ill. Broom tea, I'm not familiar with that. That's not a medication. So I'm not familiar with that. I know some of the supplements and some herbal things, but I'm not familiar with broom tea at all.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we're going to take another 5-minute break there, Doc, and we will be back. And when we come back, Doc, I need you to give us the advice that needs to go out to the audience before we end our show. We'll be
Sure.
back with
Okay.
Dr. Matthews. Yeah, yeah.
Do you have prediabetes? If you do, you're not alone. 1 in 3 American adults has prediabetes, and more than 80% don't know they have it. Prediabetes is a serious medical condition that puts you at high risk for type 2 diabetes. But now, North Carolina residents with prediabetes can enroll in a free or low-cost national diabetes prevention program. You can make healthy changes with support from this proven program. Get started now at joinaprogram.org.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school.
Jessica has been through a lot in her life from early childhood.
My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She came in looking to complete her diploma. She had a family she had to take care of. Anytime she needed help, we provided her help. She realized that we were here for her.
She wants to have a career so her kids could look up to her.
My graduation, it was something I will never forget. I couldn't explain the emotion I was feeling because people like you and me sometimes may have doubts in ourselves, but I feel that everything's possible.
Jessica's future is brighter than ever.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
You told me not to talk to strangers. You told me not to cross the street without looking both ways.
You told me not to touch the stove. You told me not to do drugs. You told me not to drink and drive.
You gave me so many messages about how to stay safe. Why didn't you keep me safe by properly storing your gun?
Okay. We are back with Dr. Leslie Ray Matthews. This man is a mastermind who has told us some great things about the deficiencies of our bodies and the things that we need to do to boost our immune system with the vitamin D3. He mentioned that the vitamin D3 is a hormone, where I thought it was just like a pill, and it's a little bit more than that. And I might have got that wrong. So, Dr. Leslie, give me a little bit more context into that, and tell me what the audience should be doing every day for their daily boost of their immunity.
Okay, there are several things you should be doing. First of all, the things that we all are told about daily: 6 feet distancing, wear your mask every day. Wearing a mask decreases your chance of getting coronavirus by 30%. Thing is, I think we've done a poor job as a medical community explaining the use of masks. There is no operating room that you can go in the United States or anywhere in the world without a mask in the operating room. So masks are very important. So in the hospital, if you're going to work in an operating room, a delivery suite, or anywhere they're doing procedures, you're going to wear a mask or not have a job. There's no questions asked.
Right.
So so I think we've done a poor job. And so it's not going to stop 100% chance of you getting the corona. It's just going to drop your chance by 30%. But that in conjunction with hand washing and 6 feet distancing, and then practicing, eating a nutritious diet. So you got to do all these things collectively, which greatly decreases your risk. Plus supplement with vitamin D and or get your vaccines. So you have to do all those things collectively to have the better chance of not collecting anything. So no one of these things is going to stop it 100%.
Right.
So it's a combination of doing all of them together.
Right. So there are some people that are fighting taking this vaccination. What is your concept on that?
Well, as a surgeon, you need to have more than one way of doing things. You need to have multiple ways. For example, I like to use if a patient has strep throat, there are some people that are allergic to penicillin, so I can't give them penicillin that'll kill them or make their tongue swell out of their head, so you need to have options. And then being a surgeon, when you operate on somebody, you can't do the same procedure on all patients. So you need to have several different ways of doing things.
Right.
So same thing with the coronavirus. And so I think that you need to, vaccines work, but some people can't take vaccines. Like so there are some people, like I have a sister that's had 3 strokes, and so one of the side effects of having taken the coronavirus has been rare chance of getting strokes. And so she's not a person that I would recommend to take the coronavirus, but I told her to take the pneumococcal vaccine and the flu vaccine, which I think would slightly decrease your risk of getting any type infections. And then plus vitamin D, supplement, wash your hands, eat a healthy diet, get enough sleep, exercise, keep your weight down. So you have to do all those things in order to decrease your chance of getting the coronavirus.
So guess what I did, Doc? Okay, so when the coronavirus came out, my daughter came down to Atlanta on her birthday. And Mom, I want to go out to eat. I said, I ain't going nowhere with no corona. I ain't going in public with no corona. I ain't doing that. My daughter said, but Mom, it's my birthday and I want to go. I said, I said, okay, if we go someplace and we eat outside, then I'll go. And so we're outside and we had the whole area reserved for her birthday outside. And then all of a sudden I got up and I said, I felt somebody's near to me. And I turned around and said, oh my God, that person was right next to me. That wasn't 6 feet away. And it panicked me. So because I have multiple sclerosis, I'm super, super conscious of my distancing, the mask, and who I'm around, and my awareness. So I went home and I invented a mask. And it's a social distancing awareness mask, and it's called the Me Mask. And I call it the Me Mask because it's got a picture of you on the mask. It's got a zipper on it, so you can eat out of it and drink out of it. It's got a sensor of light if somebody is within 6 feet of you, that it'll beep in your ear to tell you someone's within that distance of you. And it's got a clear mask on the mouth, so if someone's hearing impaired, you can read their lips. So I invented this, I patented it, and I cannot find a manufacturer for it. And I have orders for it from the hospitals and everything I know. And I'm like, all these orders and I can't find a manufacturer. I was like calling and contacting the Chinese people, anybody. Give me one prototype and I'll see if I can get the rest of them made. And I told them it's attached to your Bluetooth awareness. and I can't find a manufacturer. And I said, how is that possible? And I didn't do it for money. I did it really for social distancing awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Having a really tough time getting someone to manufacture it. Any suggestions?
Well, you just have to keep trying, and just it's just every. Sometimes it takes years to get things to market, and so you just have to be persistent.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you've been retired since 2019.
Yes.
Are you still out teaching and educating about the vitamin D3?
Yes, I am. I do a lot of podcasts, a lot of TV news shows, and magazine articles, and I do talks in public, in person. So I'm always busy. I stay busy.
So do you have your own show?
No, I do not.
We need to change that, Doc, for real, for real. You need to get your own show to give all this great medical advice. People need to be able to get it one-on-one and tap into your personal relationship. I think that's pretty awesome that you
Mhm.
so, Dr. Leslie, if anybody wants to get a hold of you and get any advice, how do they contact
They can contact me through my PR team, epimediagroup.com. Uh, you can I have a Facebook page, Leslie Ray Matthews. I have an Instagram, Dr. Leslie Ray Matthews. Those are probably the three ways you can get in contact with me.
you? Okay. So you're not doing any more work practicing as a doctor, just doing the information, correct?
Yes, well, I still get calls from former residents and doctors all around the world wanting medical advice about surgical procedures and different things on treating ICU patients. So they keep me pretty busy.
Oh yeah, I bet. So I have I have four medical kids. I mean, not that they're doctors. So I have a son that's in the Navy and he services the Marines and they call him Doc Magic. His name is Malik Magic. And I have a daughter who is in the Air Force and she is in the physician assistant program.
Mhm.
Yes. And then I have a daughter that's getting ready to go into the Air Force and she tested like a 95 on her ASVAB, so she can have any job in the Air Force. And when she tested in high school, she had like a major, I guess she graduated early from high school, that she can take any job in the Air Force, but she hasn't figured out what to do. Do you have any recommendations in medical that you would say that she should focus on?
You have to find your passions. Different people like different things in medicine. Some people can't stand blood. Some people don't like the long hours in surgery. Some people, want more work-life balance. So you have to look at all those different factors, write them down on a sheet of paper, and then, just take it from there.
As a surgeon, you mostly focused on what was it, cardiology?
No, as a trauma critical care surgeon, so people that are involved in falls, gunshots, knife stabs, car crashes, and
Oh,
so anything traumatic to the body is what we took care of.
okay. And so when you were at Morehouse for the School of Medicine, were you a teacher there or mostly servicing?
You have to do all of them. You have to wear all different hats. And so, as a professor of surgery, you have to teach fellows, residents, medical students, nursing students, nurse practitioners. So, you're teaching at all levels. We educated, paramedics in the military, did research, vitamin D research, and you're doing clinical operating, taking care of patients. And so, you're doing all three. And so,
Wow.
you're quite busy.
Wow. Do you have time for family life?
No, I didn't when I was working. I was working 80 to 100 hours a week.
Oh my goodness. So now that you are retired, it's 2019, you have retired and you're doing some podcasts and some educational e-series. What's the one thing that you didn't get to do because of medicine that you want to do that you haven't done yet?
Well, actually, I satisfied everything I want to do in medicine, basically. So I love to operate, and I love surgery. I love taking care of patients, and I want to do research. So I've done most of the things. I've traveled around the world. Been to a lot of places. So I've done most things that I want to do. So probably more research and more groundbreaking areas. Come up with new discoveries, new inventions, new creations is probably the one area I would like to pursue more.
Well, we are down to the wire at the end of our show. Dr. Leslie Ray Matthews. You're amazing.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No, I'm honored that you have been a guest on my show and that you have been so educational. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
I need you to understand that I need you to be on this show all the time, all the time, all the time. Well, I got questions. I will call Dr. Leslie Ray Matthews because he knows a whole stuff. I don't know nothing about medical. I tell you that. But I am grateful and thankful because if I have anything that goes wrong with me, I'm finna call you.
Okay. I'm a phone call away.
I'm happy that you're a phone call away.
Okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is ending our show. I'm very grateful and thankful that our guest, Dr. Leslie Ray Matthews, has given us a lot of great educational tools and concepts on how we should take care of our bodies to be more healthier. Be more thankful and grateful that we have a body and that there are people that are just have all these tools that they can give us with knowledge and wisdom, but it's up to us to take those tools, apply them to ourselves for a healthy body and healthy life. A lot of times we don't take that into concept. We'll hear things, but we don't do things. We don't trust things because we're not listening. So as I was talking to Dr. Leslie earlier about the broom, they believe in the broom tea, the herbs, and he was sharing that there are other concepts of things that we have to do when we can't do certain things that are prescribed. And so sometimes we use ulterior methods of other things for healthier ways of being healed. And I say all that to say that some of us are not good listeners. Some of us are prescribed things that we choose not to do. And for me, that's saying that you're not thankful and grateful that God gave us people like Dr. Leslie Ray Matthews. I'm grateful and thankful, Dr. Matthews, that you're here.
Thank you. All right. Have a great day.
Yes. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye-bye.